Hi, everyone. We are now in Module 6, and we are still talking about cases. There's a lot to cover on the topic of cases when you're first getting introduced to legal research. Our modules on cases cover these last 3 steps in the legal research process, which, by the way, I won't ask you to pause and test yourself this time, but I do hope you are close to memorizing the 5 steps in the research process. Research plan is where you should always get started. Then you consult your secondary sources, you locate your primary authority, expand and update upon that authority that you've already found, and finally analyze and organize. And in this, our final module on cases, you will learn to keyword search effectively. Until now, we've mostly focused on learning or locating cases with legal relevance, that the cases that discuss your legal issue. But now we're adding in factual relevance. So you'll learn keyword searching that combines 2 important skills: integrating factual elements into your keywords and utilizing field and segment searching to contain your results to the most relevant cases. And we'll also cover case analysis factors so that you'll know how to choose a case that is most appropriate to cite and not just the first case in your results list. And we'll also take a very brief look at dockets. So here's that list again on our roadmap for today. We'll begin fitting in today's content into the big picture with a quick review. So the new content today is on keyword searching, and it's listed here as one of the 5 case finding methods. It's the one that we haven't used yet. So what are these 4 methods that we have used? This 5-part list is going to take you through the rest of the big research assignments that we have this semester, including this week's assignment. So you will be asked to employ these methods to find cases and to identify the methods as you are using them. So let's review their names. First method, secondary sources. I also see students calling this secondary sources footnotes, not to be confused with headnotes. Those 2 terms tend to get confused by some students, but you will use Calger, Witkin, or a nice detailed treatise, and it summarizes the law for you and gives you citations to cases, often by dropping a footnote. So that's how you find cases in secondary sources. Number 2 case finding method is statutory annotation. So you have a statute, you look it up, and then you review the notes to decisions for cases that interpret that statute. Number 3 is headnotes with the classification system. So Module 5, the last module, was very specific about headnotes and how you can use them in 2 ways to find cases. One way was the classification systems. It's those key numbers off to the right in Westlaw and that topic breadcrumb trail that's on top of your headnotes in Lexis. That's the classification system. And the number 4 case finding method is KeyCite in Shepard's. It's the citator method. So again, Module 5 covered these as a way to find cases as well as a way to determine the good law analysis. But as a way to find cases, these methods are useful in combination with points of law. So you would find a relevant headnote, and then you would click the citator link below the headnote to use this 4th method. Or you can use the citator without headnotes. You can just use the tab at the top of the case for the citator, and you could get a list of all the cases citing your case for any of its points of law. And finally, the 5th method of finding cases is keyword searching, but we'll get to that within the next video or 2. First, let's look at this week's learning exercise. So go ahead and open up the learning exercise Word document and get started on using the 4 case finding methods that we already know. Work through that exercise until you reach the word stop and then return to watch the next lecture video. I will see you there.